if I would have not become a chess player, I would have become a professional football player.
And you were the youngest grandmaster ever at the age of 14.
I was missing like 170 days from school.
You actually won the original Fisher Random World Championship.
This had nothing to do with the World Championship.
Can online chess be taken seriously?
Because there are so much more games, the players take the games less seriously.
You and your wife, Sofie, was it a love at first sight?
She fell in love with my German accent.
Since what age were you supporting your family?
At the age of 10, yeah.
Welcome everybody, I'm Women's Grandmaster Dina Belenka. Today here with me my wonderful co-host Emily Plays Chess, and in today's episode we have the legendary guest, Grandmaster Peter Leko. Peter, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
We want to dive into your career and your achievements and let our audience get to know you a little bit.
All right.
You came from a modest background and you were the youngest grandmaster ever at the age of 14. How did chess help change your life and your family's life?
Yes, it was actually very important to become youngest grandmaster at that point because, like you said, yeah, we had a very modest background, and financing the whole chess development was a very big challenge for the family. We got a lot of support from Germany. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a paradox. Yeah, that I'm Hungarian, and then instead of Hungary, my real support came from Germany since I'm like 10 years old. But really, I got a tremendous amount of support there. Then when I became youngest grandmaster, then I got all the invitations. I started playing. My very first game against Kasparov was in Horgen in Switzerland in the Credit Suisse tournament, 1994. I lost that game, but it was just being part of that tournament. It was amazing. I was learning a lot financially, but also chess-wise, getting all these invitations, playing against very strong players. Actually, against Karpov, I played in 1993, 1 year earlier, in Leon, where I made my second grandmaster norm. So it was also like very special times, yeah, that in a tournament when I made my second grandmaster norm in Leon, I faced Karpov, I faced Topalov, I faced Yudasin, Iaskas, all these super guys, and I managed to succeed. And also my final GM norm in Vaikanze, 1994 in January. Well, that was something very special because I lost the first game to Tiviakov, who was a candidate back then in the PCA cycle. Mm-hmm. And then I needed to score +2. And I beat Ivan Sokolov, who was number 17 at the world at that moment, in order with the black pieces in the Grünfeld defense. And then I beat also Ivan Morovic from Chile, very strong grandmaster, also with black. So it had the black is okay spirit. Mm-hmm. And then I became the youngest grandmaster. It was amazing. This
is a little bit something that we had the opportunity to talk to you behind the scenes when you visited us in Charlotte. And I remember you mentioned very interesting stories about your personal life in that times. So I guess something like inspiring and interesting for audience to share. How did the fact that you became the youngest grandmaster at the time change your personal life, the life of your family?
The family life was a little bit tricky because, I was always traveling. So there was basically almost no family life at all. It was like, when finally after all the travelings I got back home, then I got back to Szeged, because I was coming from Szeged. I was born in Subotica, but it's a little bit longer story. We don't have time for that. Basically, all these invitations, all these tournaments, then suddenly you can focus on what is most important to develop. Like it was very important because I was also not going to school. So it was kind of normal that I was doing exams every half a year. Mm-hmm. And it was also like by accident because I remember when I was 9 years old, I was missing like 160 or 170 days from school. And then the director invited my mother in that, actually it's not working like this, but okay, what to do? They understood my situation and let's finish this year like it is. I was anyways doing the exams in school and I was always doing good, no problem. But then from next year, let's make it professional so that every half a year I will be doing the exams and otherwise I can fully focus on chess. So this was the moment when I was like 9 years old and I moved to Kecskemét because in my hometown Szeged there was no chess culture really. So at the age of 9, I was already one of the best players. And Kecskemét was a very international city with a lot of international tournaments. It was also the times when the Soviet Union collapsed, 89. So all the Soviet players were also coming to Hungary, playing the tournaments there. From Germany, people were coming. Yeah, it was a very international chess scene. And that's where my professional chess career really started. Basically, thanks to this background of catch chemistry, the very intense trainings, I was able to become so quickly so strong, of becoming really the youngest grandmaster. And then, I played with Kasparov. I played all these super tournaments. I debuted also for the Hungarian national team for Olympiad in Moscow. 94, it was the very first Olympiad that I played. 1994. Incredible. Lot of memories also, because I was a very big football fan. And basically, if I would have not become a chess player, I would have become a professional football player. It was clear, because I was equally talented in both. It was very difficult and very tough decision that finally I chose chess over football, and the football coaches were very angry with my mother that, okay, no, you cannot let Peter go to chess. No, but the point was, the decisive factor was that in chess, the age and the physical development didn't mean anything. Yes, so if I improved. At the age of 11, 12, I became international master with the potential already that it was clear that when I became international master, that it's just a matter of time that I will also become grandmaster. Yeah. So what kind of football? Yeah, it's very tricky. But then it tremendously helped me, because in 94, when I visited Argentina, I played there the tournament. Then when the Argentinians heard that Peter loves football and like this, I became a national hero there. Yeah, immediately they took me to the River Plate match. And they also, the journalists took me immediately after the match finished into the locker room. The players were coming out with towels from the shower, and then suddenly a boy is appearing there with photo shoot and everything. And I remember very well that Goycochea, who was the goalkeeper, was the one who in 1990 was saving Argentina in all the World Cups. He was holding all the penalties. Having the chance to meet with him and then having the photo together, which was then posted on the sports newspaper's front page next day, those kind of memories were really giving me a lot of energy, and it was always lovely to travel around the world.
Since what age were you supporting your family from your chess career?
Well, basically when I became like a professional player at the age of 10. Yeah, so basically from the age of 10, the whole family depended on my chess results. And this was, of course, added tremendous pressure. Yeah, that basically sometimes it was that, okay, if a tournament succeeds well, then I know that everything is taken care. If not, then we have problems. Yeah, it's this put additional pressure, but I think I was handling it quite well. My mother was supporting me very much with everything what she could, but okay, we had limits. There were tremendous amount of costs, all the travelings, the trainers and like this, and that's why Germany was very important for me, because thanks to them I got some financial stability that we could really afford to pay the trainers.
Shifting gears a little, in 2004 you drew the World Championship match against Kramnik, therefore not getting the title. Is this your biggest accomplishment or biggest heartbreak?
Yeah, very, very well formulated. Looking back now, I think that I'm super happy and super proud that I got the chance to play this match and to play it the way I played. 7-7 against Kramnik was a tremendous result. He was way more superiorly prepared. Yeah, he had much bigger background. He played with Kasparov 4 years before, year 2000. Kasparov was not even able to win a single game against him. Yeah, Kramnik was incredible. But I was also a very unpleasant opponent for him. The reason why I don't say that it was probably my biggest achievement, because I had quite a lot. And one that is very sweet and very important is that, because you have to know the story, of course, winning the candidates tournament in 2002 in Dortmund, that's how you qualify for the match. Yeah, so that's one of the most important victories, of course. But then there was all this rivalry that Kasparov wanted to play with Kramnik directly. So why do you play with Leko? But Kramnik said, yeah, but Leko qualified, so I should play with him. Yeah, there was the story between Kasparov and Shilov from 98. Yeah, so everything was like connected. And how will things work out? And then came Linares 2003. So half a year later, and the match was postponed. So it was clear that it probably won't take place in April, May 2003 like it was planned. Yeah, finally it was even postponed like 1.5 years. And Kasparov, before the tournament in Linares, which is the Wimbledon of chess, it was the Wimbledon of chess, Kasparov claimed that this is the real world championship. Whoever wins this is the world champion. Those were Gary's words before the tournament in Linares, and I won this tournament together with Kramnik, but my tiebreak was better. That was amazing because I think it was also the only time that I ever finished ahead of Kasparov. And Kasparov was such a beast, such an incredible player. I have learned so much from him. So basically, playing this whole Linares tournaments, the creme de la creme tournaments from 1999, I became so much more better player, and the chess vision that I have basically is very much influenced by the chess that Kasparov was playing, the way he prepared all this, going for complex lines, trying to become as universal as possible, also going deep into the stuff. I do remember in 99, the very first Linares tournament, it was still like a very big question. It was almost impossible to sleep before a game against Kasparov, because you were not sure that you will survive the opening. You know that it was like terrifying. So basically, you almost went to a game against Kasparov with the black pieces after a sleepless night. Yeah, and you anyway had to face the best player in the world, Kasparov, and basically without sleep. So yeah, there was all this aura and everything of Kasparov. So winning finally ahead of him, Linares, that's probably the biggest achievement.
You worked as a second in multiple World Chess Championship matches. How does the pressure of being the coach behind the scenes, responsible, for many decisions, compare to the pressure of playing yourself?
Yeah, it's completely different. Basically, I think you have to become a second to understand and appreciate that how good it is to be a player. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting because when you are a player, then you know the player's perspective. And you know exactly at how many problems you have, and you think like, yeah, this is not good, this is not good. But when you are suddenly a second, basically you know that you are responsible. The player who asks you to become his second, he is basically inviting you into his life. And in the most important moment of his life, you are the person who he relies on. Yeah, so it's a tremendous responsibility. Of course, it's very important also that the chemistry between the second and the player should be perfect. Yeah, this also was for me one of the key moments. I think that I played such a brilliant match against Kramnik, that my team was amazing. Yeah, it was my father-in-law Arshak, but I also had Vladimir Akopian and Vladislav Tkachov. And the team was there with their whole heart, with the whole soul. We knew that we are no match of the Kramnik team with Barayev, Svidler, Ieskas, and who knows who else from back home. Yeah, we had no illusions. We knew exactly that their team is much better, but we were a force. Yeah, we relied on each other. We trusted each other. We knew that, okay, only together we can achieve something. And the team really helped me tremendously. Yeah, that was amazing. And yeah, from the other angle, it's always kind of question that how close you can become to your player. Yeah, for me, this is always psychologically very important. And in this regard, I feel very comfortable with Vincent, because being as a coach, that basically when we first started working with Vincent, he was still 12 years old. In 1 week time, he turned 13. So yes, basically in the World Under 20 World Championship, Vincent was coming. We both had an awful long trip, something like 8-9 hours. We finally got there. It was already 10 in the evening and like this. And I still asked Vincent that, okay, if you want, come over. Let's discuss something a little bit. And we did not know each other at all. We haven't worked before. It was just there at the tournament. And Vincent was running over after this long and exhausting trip. I showed him some of my games, some of my memorable moments. And suddenly I asked Vincent that, okay, please show me something. Yeah, what comes to your mind? Yeah. And then Vincent, he was not prepared at all, but he had something to show me. And the way how with deepness and with clear thought process, he described all the feelings that he had during the game, why he was making certain decisions. Yeah, then of course it was time to go to bed. I talked to my wife, I called Sofie, and I said that, yeah, this will be a long engagement, it will be a long cooperation, because Vincent is very special. Yeah, and this is how it started. And I remember at this very first phone call with my wife Sofie that yes, it will be a long cooperation, and this is how it seems to work.
So when you went together with Vincent to that tournament, you were like a coach in a trial, right? Like kind of in a testing mode, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't know exactly what.
Yeah.
The point was that, okay, before I only worked with super grandmasters, with players normally who were fighting for the world crown and so on. And it was very interesting for me. And, you know, because like I told you, I received so much support from Germany before in my childhood. So there was always this desire in me to give back something for Germany. Yeah? So this was one of the main motivation. I already heard that Vincent is there, 12 years old, talented and so on. But okay, when you hear all this news, you cannot judge it by yourself. Yeah, I wanted to feel it. And I kind of felt, because they asked me that, would I be ready to go with Vincent to this tournament? And I felt like, yes, I should, because this is now a wonderful chance in this 2 weeks' time to understand that is he really so talented according to my taste or Germany taste? Yeah, it's a different kind of story, because I'm thinking about becoming world champion and becoming one of the best players in the world. Not top 100 or top 50 players, and here's the chance to experience this. And basically the first night already showed it that I can travel back home, mission accomplished. I know exactly that Vincent is very talented, and however the problem was that in Germany they are very fixated on going to school. So contrary to my situation, that even the director offered me at the age of 9 that maybe I can just make exams, because actually this is also, I was very lucky in this sense that thanks to the Polgars, the Polgar father, because he pioneered all this way in Hungary, that he had a lot of problem with Susan at the beginning when it was like this, when already Judith was in the situation. I think everything was fine. And then Hungary already was kind of open and willing to handle this situation. But for Germany, and then Vincent was, and I remember that we were going to some Vikanzi tournament together, and the day before Vincent was still in school, and once we came back from Vikanzi after this monstrous, very tough tournament with so many games, and you basically give all your energy to succeed there, and you come back home, normally what is the way of professional chess player? You have 3-4 days of rest, and then you start working on the problems that you discovered during tournament. And what poor Vincent had to do? He was going back home, and he had to go next day to school in the morning, and he had to catch up with the last 3 weeks of missed material. I was going crazy. I mean, what is this? This is not the way how you are getting the professional environment. So at some point, there was a moment when Vincent's development was a little bit slower than people hoped or expected or whatever. They became kind of nervous, and I just told them, just relax, because it wasn't this professional environment that Vincent only focuses on chess. If he would have done this, he would have much faster skyrocketed forward like this. There was a moment when he stagnated a little bit around 2500. Also, our idea was that there was no reason of running to try to become youngest grandmaster or whatever. It was much more important that he only plays good events. And then finally his final GM norm he made in the Grand Swiss tournament in Isle of Man 2019 in this brutally strong field, beating some 2650 players in order to get the norm. And that's how I feel like this is when you really earn the title. And half a year later, he was already 2650 or something. It's because he was already much stronger than a GM when he became GM. Because this was also my kind of way of developing, that always try to find the harder way. Because if you succeed in the harder way, it means that qualitatively you are making progress all the time. While you can try to find some easy open tournaments that I will play with some older GMs who already lost their strengths and like this, and then I can become much faster grandmaster. Okay, finally, what for? It's not worth it, because finally the question is how strong you will get, and then you should not lie yourself in the way of development. So I think it was also the reason why then Vincent became then very strong very quickly.
We're here at the Freestyle Grand Slam in Las Vegas. You actually won the original Fischer Random World Championship. So how is it to see the variant getting a second wind under freestyle?
Well, I'm super happy. First of all, I'm laughing because, I feel like I have so many achievements in chess, but when they call me first Fischer Random World Champion, I'm smiling because this had nothing to do with the World Championship. Basically, I was asked to play a very nice match with Mickey Adams, who was also one of the best players in the world. I was very much happy to get into Fischer Random. I already played my very first Fischer Random tournament in '96 in Kanizsa, and then in 2000 when I got the chance, of course, I was very happy. We played with Mickey. But now, of course, everything is so much more professional. Yeah, it's just incredible. It all started with Weissenhaus 2024, but I already had another stop in 2022, the Reykjavik tournament, which was organized by FIDE. It was in rapid time control. Then I was already doing the commentary, and there it was very interesting that I witnessed firsthand that the 20 minutes time control was not exactly suitable for Fischer Random because basically everybody is new to the game. There are millions of challenges. It's so tough to find in every new starting position the way how to play the position that actually you need time. And I remember that Magnus was playing good games, but was suffering that he spent too much time. And in time trouble, he missed something. And then when we met in Weissenhaus 2024, and I heard it's the classical time control in 90 minutes that Magnus wants like this. And I was very happy. Yes, exactly. Because give time for the players that they have time to get deep into the things because it's an incredible challenge. And then there were many tournaments with the 90 minutes. I really enjoyed it and so on. But now we are here in Las Vegas. And now the time control is shortened to 30 minutes plus 30 seconds. We also had a lovely discussion yesterday during dinner with Vincent, Nodirbeck and Hans, that basically they also feel like there had been so much development and the players are now so much more familiar with the game, and the quality of the games have tremendously improved compared to 1 year ago, the very first inaugural event in Weissenhaus 2024. So the players are really, first of all, enjoying it. Yeah, I know from Vincent also that, okay, now it's freestyle chess. Okay, great. I have to be fresh. I have to have the energy. I have to have good sleep. Unfortunately, in Vegas now with all this hot weather, going out for a good walk does not really work. Yeah, so getting a good sleep is most important. But I really feel like the young generation is so happy and so excited. Their eyes are shining. And now with the shortened time control, I think Abdusattorov, because, and also Hans, they both play very quickly. And I remember as a commentator, I was doing also the Grenke event where Hans was playing, so I've already seen Hans also in action. I was feeling like, no, slow down, guys, slow down. There is no reason to rush because you have 90 minutes. It's very important to establish a good position and then you can handle it. If you have time but you have bad position, it depends on your opponent if you will get a second chance or not. Yeah. But now with 30 minutes, it will be super interesting. More dramatic, and of course one of the key moments, the very big plus that I see in it is that we will have a winner in every day. Yeah, because with the 90 minutes, yes, my heart is always for 90 minutes. If we could give 120 minutes, even better. Yeah, the longer, the better for me. I'm an old school guy, but we are also living in modern times. I understand this. Now already with this 30 minutes, probably the players will already feel comfortable. Let's see. At least I would suggest to all the players to think about it like slow, rapid. Because as a player, I always felt like it's very important psychologically to understand what to do. Yeah, if you are thinking about 30 minutes that, oh no, compared to 90 minutes, this is now much shorter, what will happen? Then you get somehow negative feelings towards it. But if you consider it that, wait a second, in long times they used to play 25 minutes rapid games. That was the standard when I was playing rapid 25. Then it got shortened to 20 minutes. Then later, due to the World Championship, they wanted to have 5 games per day. They had to shorten to 15 minutes. So now compared to 15 minutes, you actually get 30 minutes and 30 seconds bonus. And then this is a luxury. Yeah, it's very interesting. The big challenge, however, is already the qualification, the group stage with 10 minutes plus 10 seconds increment. So tremendous challenge on the players, not only with the positions, but also adjusting to the time control. Yeah, for us commentators, it's very easy to say that, this game is now played with the 10 minutes time control, this is now the 30 minutes. Imagine the players, because I know from myself that you always want to get a rhythm. Because getting the rhythm of the time control is basically the key of being able to perform at your best level, or you will be shaky, nervous, and you will try to rush. Then you will be very angry with yourself that I played too quickly. I should have spent more time. If you play slowly, no, I should have played faster. Yeah, these are always the problems. And finding this balance. The one guy whom I'm absolutely not worried is Magnus. Because Magnus, no matter what the format, what the time control, he's super happy. He's super comfortable. Let's see. It will be a super challenge for all the players, and I'm looking forward to the spectacle.
You have expressed concerns about chess becoming too much like esports. Can online chess be taken seriously? Alternatively, are we losing something in this transition?
Yes, well, I'm always concerned, I'm always worried. This is how I was as a chess player also, and that's why I was cautious. I always try to make sure that before my opponent threatens anything, I already have the answer to it. Yeah, that's kind of my style. So yes, clearly I'm worried, because I'm a classical guy. I always feel like the longer the time control, because I know that for me as a player, and for example, Linares, it was Kasparov, comes to my mind because, he was the absolute number one for all this period when I was there. That at 3:30 the game started in Linares, and it was a 7-hour time control game. And we basically played for like 3 weeks. And we had to do tremendous amount of preparation, 5-6 hours preparation for a game, and then still have all this energy. And it was like when you went to the game, then you knew that you have to have every of your strengths. You cannot have any distractions, whatever. So you are just in a complete tunnel, and nothing else exists, just the tournament and like this. And every single second of your or minute of your time that you are spending during the tournament is basically having the purpose to be able to perform from 3:30 till 10:30 at your best power. Basically, this is the environment I grew up. So now, of course, when online chess is, for example, taking over, there are big pluses and minuses. It's like every time with everything in life. Now, for example, because there are so much more games, the players take the games less seriously because, okay, you lost one game, so what's the problem? The next game starts again. In my time, just one small inaccuracy was driving me crazy. I was not able to sleep, or I was not able to forgive myself that how could I have missed this small detail, and thanks to this I lost the chance to get an initiative or whatever. So everything is changing, life is changing. Now that I came here to US, immediately my childhood memories from 94-95, I spent 2 times. I played the PCA rapid qualification tournaments in New York. And those times I was listening to music. And in the 90s, the music and the albums. Alanis Morissette's album in 95. It has a soul, it has a spirit. And now when I compare it with today's music, I don't feel anything similar from today's music. So I'm worried, of course, that, yes, chess should also not lose this deepness. This incredible deepness that every small detail matters. At the other hand, I also understand that the life is more dynamic. People want to see results faster and so on, and chess also needs to adjust. So basically, I'm not against anything. Everything that is working and with everything that the top players are satisfied and feeling happy and the spectators are good, that's great. This esports, yes, I think it was the Prague tournament. The Prague tournament was when I was actually saying that for me the Prague tournament is very special, because there the organizers from little money are making this tradition go on and growing the event, but they put all their heart into it. So the people, you have been there also playing the open dinner and so on, it has a very lovely vibe. Now in esports, there is the tremendous prize fund which lures the players there. So there are all kinds of aspects, and of course the players have to be happy. Yeah, this is the most, and the spectators. Yeah, if this goes hand in hand, and if this helps chess to become also more and more, you know, famous and more respected. Okay, respected, I don't know, because there is tremendous respect for chess anyway. Yeah, this is the point there, that I don't think that chess needs to change in any direction, because the people are growing up to the game. Yeah, that wow, chess is something special. Yeah, this is what I feel. Yeah, for me, chess is so much more than a game or sport. It combines so many elements. It's something very unique. Yeah. And this is what I don't want, that it loses its character just to be included in esports, or it's included in online or like this. It has to stay like something very special and be part of this, part of that, all this energy, and also the people. Freestyle also helps. Now it was very interesting that in Granke tournament, there was an all-time friend from Dortmund, with whom I met, and he played chess as a child, and he forgot about tournaments and everything. He had no time, and now he came to Granke tournament. And then he was telling me that, you know, Peter, how great it is, because I already don't follow the opening theory and like this. And he has like 1600 rating, and he was able to play against the 1900 guys without any problems, because it was freestyle. Yeah, so there are also the other sides of players who, for example, are lawyers or whatever, doctors, so they are busy with their other lives. They are not professional chess players, but they learned the Scandinavian, or they learned the Caro-Kann, or they learned the French defense, and they know the soul of this opening. And then they are, for example, they like the classical chess, because in classical chess, I already know the motifs, I know the structure, I know what I'm playing for. Yeah, so there are all kinds of different directions. And I always feel like this is the most important. Everybody has to be satisfied. Everybody should do what he feels like. If he feels that he wants to play freestyle because that suits him, that's fantastic. If he wants to stick to classical, but there should be no this rivalry. And for me, this is kind of very important. I was always a person who never liked confrontations. I always wanted to have harmony. So let's make everyone happy. Yeah. That's the most important for me.
You said you want everybody to be happy. Speaking of happiness, you and your wife, Sofie, was it a love at first sight?
It was, yeah. It was very special, because it was the Dortmund tournament, 1999. I had a contractual obligation. I had a German sponsor that once the game finishes in the Super Tournament, then I'm going to show to the public my game and then sign autographs and everything. Yeah, and it normally took like 1 hour. And we had like, in Dortmund was very special. It was like 800 spectators every day. In end of 90s, beginning of 2000, it was fantastic, fully packed theater. And then like 600 players, spectators would join my presentation. Yeah, I would show my game, what was behind every decision, and so on. And it was very popular, and I always noticed Sofia appear there. You know, she was following that what is happening, but I didn't know who she is, what is happening. Yeah, whenever I finished, she was already gone. Yeah, it was like I had no chance to get in contact, and I didn't even know who she is, but basically she was coming every day. Then she was also laughingly telling afterwards that actually she fell in love with my German accent, which was because as a Hungarian, you know, you always have a certain accent. It's very difficult for us to speak exactly correctly. And my German was good, but with a heavy accent. And she wanted to find out that who is this guy who is talking like this. Yeah, so it was very funny. And then during this tournament, we met finally at the end of the event. I also won the event. It was the moment when I became top 10 chess player in the world. Yeah, I reached 27-11, I think. And then I went on to be in the top 10 for more than 10 years, yeah, consecutively. So that was a very big breakthrough moment. And afterwards, Sofie was helping me so much throughout my career. Yeah, it was just incredible. Yeah, she's also coming from a chess family, knowing that, yes, chess is very important. You have to support the player. And she really gave me so much strength. Arshak then from 2001. Became my main coach. Then he also moved to Szeged, to Hungary.
Sofie's father.
Sofie's father, exactly.
For the
Sofie's father, and he was a very famous coach. Yeah, with the Armenian national team, they won 3 Olympic titles. Yeah, people still don't understand how Armenia won 3 Olympic titles, because the concurrency was incredible. Yeah, Russia was very strong all the time. and others. But yeah, they have this fighting spirit, also this unity and everything. This whole family gave me tremendous strength and energy to succeed in my tournaments.
And basically, your wife is your manager and your
not manager. No. Okay, I'm also not playing.
He's
There is
setting the
nothing
record
to-
straight.
Okay,
Yeah, no, she's helping with everything without being my manager. Yes, she's. Because they often ask my wife that, what is she doing? And she says, well, I'm busy all day. And it's absolutely true, because there is always so much things to take care of.
Yeah.
And as a professional chess player, I knew that for me, always I have to focus on my development. Yeah, that's okay. The training has to be good and so on. And we are kind of laughing that as a chess player, as a top chess player, you always have excuse, because before a tournament, you say that this is not before a tournament. That's why I'm busy. I cannot help you out with this or that kind of questions. And if it's a wife like Sofie, then she understands it. And when it's after the tournament, then now I'm very tired after the tournament and I have to get ready for the next tournament, so you always have excuse why you cannot really have. Of course, I'm trying to help as much as I can, but basically it's clear that she has to take care of everything. This was an amazing support, so I could really focus on chess. And with Arshak, sometimes we had to make some renovation in the house. And that was the moment. What was the moment when me and my father-in-law Arshak went on a training camp? And then we said, we are going on a training camp. Now we have 1 month of training. You,
Sofie, make the renovations
will
yourself.
be done accordingly. That's kind of how it works in the chess family. It was kind of, so I really got so much support. And thanks to this, I was also able to have such a great professional chess career.
I'm just curious, basically, you were at a tournament and Sofie was not an active chess player, but her father was there as a coach?
As a coach, but he also played in the B group.
Oh, so he was a player. You were the player and her father was a player. And she was visiting to support her father, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's how she noticed you and kissed her.
Her,
and you noticed her.
And then finally at the end of the tournament, we got together, to know each other.
On the end of the tournament.
Yes.
And you got married pretty fast?
Pretty fast, yes. It was because we met in July 99, and in September 2000 we already married, and we also got engaged already in October or something in 99, because it was clear that we are for each other. It was clear for her and for me as well. There was a clear match, and it was just a question of time how we can, arrange the schedule, because she was studying in Germany.
And you were playing.
I was playing all the time. I was traveling and so on. It was really love at first sight. After the first dinner, when we went out with the family, we felt like we know each other for 100 years. It was really incredible.
You didn't really know her father back then, so it was more Sofie who actually put you in the contact with your future coach, right?
Well, I already knew Arshak because in 93, in the Lippstadt tournament, actually it was in June 93, I was hunting my third GM nom, because my second grandmaster was in Leon in May 93. And then in the very first one I played with Arshak, and I played the Banker Gambit against Arshak, and the game ended in a draw. And then we also had some post-mortem analysis and like this. And then afterwards we were laughing that it was a great investment. We knew exactly that the peaceful draw and the good post-mortem analysis was the good fundament for the family relation in the future. Yes.
For the family
and then
dynamic.
Also in 96, when there was the Yerevan Olympiad, once the tournament finished, then I went to the main square. And there were some chessboard, and I started blitzing, and Arshak was also there, and we also played some blitz games, and I also remember still. So I had some contact with Arshak, but clearly not on a professional level. And then later on, from 2001, he became my coach.
Nice. I think you mentioned that both of you were not looking for anyone, right? But when you met, you kind of knew that was it, right?
Yeah, that was the point. That's why we also felt like this is the moment. If we let it go, then who knows what will happen, because she had big plans. She was having wonderful grades. She was the best student in the school. I was very busy with chess and so on. So basically it really needed to be a lucky coincidence that we meet somehow, somewhere, and we have to treasure that. And this is how we got to know each other, and we are very happy ever since.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. You once told us that recently you've been recognized in the crowd as a popular commentator.
Do you feel like your commentary career has overshadowed your chess career?
Well, not overshadowed, but yes, now it's kind of funny because I'm traveling with Vincent to tournaments. Yeah, I'm his second trainer and so on. There are players asking for autograph. Yeah, for example, for Vincent. Yeah, then okay, Vincent signs the autograph, and then they say, but this is the commentator guy. Yeah, and then Vincent is telling them, no, actually he's a very strong player. Yeah, and then they are sometimes they are looking skeptical that really like this, and Vincent says yeah, and then they believe. Yeah, of course, many people know me anyway, of course, clearly, but it's normal that now the younger generation, they see the TV, they see the internet, and they see me as a commentator, not as a player. So it's absolutely logical that, and I'm very happy with this also because the reason why I'm doing the commentary is that I'm getting a lot of positive feedbacks. How many people came to me, that they how much appreciate what I'm doing, and this is the reason why I'm doing it. To me, chess is something very special. Every single move has so much meaning, and if I can help break down the moves of the top players so that any club level player can suddenly feel like he understands what's going on, then I'm extremely happy. Yeah, this is the main purpose of my commentary. And I do remember also that to my father, when I was showing my games, like when I was 13, 14, 15 years old, coming back home and I showed him the game, my father is total amateur. He doesn't know any openings, nothing. But the way how I was describing, look at this, what I'm doing, I want this, he was also following and was enjoying. Yeah, so I kind of know that I have a natural gift to provide these insights, and of course, because when I'm doing a commentary, then I have to try to, keep a very high standard, because I know that also very good players are watching it. Yeah. Also, there are players who are young players and they want to improve a lot. So I try to make as much educational content as possible so that they can learn. I became famous with the cemento. Yeah, that it's cemento. Cemento. What is cemento? Well, I mean, stabilizing the position. Yeah, building a position which the opponent cannot break. Yeah, and also in Charlotte. Yeah, the kids were after just screaming out, it's cemento, and they started playing, because I always feel that you have to give a spirit. Yeah, you have to give a spirit. Also as a coach, as a teacher, as a commentator, because nobody will learn to play chess just from a lecture or whatever. You have to raise the interest. You have to give the spirit to the students, to the viewers, and then if they are engaged in chess and you suddenly have this feeling that, wow, actually chess is so much more than what we thought about, and then they will invest their own time and energy and everything to try to get better. This is how they are improving. And if this mechanism starts, then I'm extremely happy, because this is exactly the reason why I'm doing the commentary and try to put as much energy and effort into it. And in my mind, when it's a 7-hour time control and I can commentate a game for 7 hours, I'm extremely happy. I remember the Grand Swiss from 2023, and there was this game, Jumabayev against Erigaisi against Jumabayev. It was one of the best games that I ever commentated. It was a 7-hour drama, because it was dramatic on move 40 after the 2 hours time control. Then between till move 60, the next 2 hours was also very dramatic. And then the 15 minutes extra with the 30 seconds, and then it went on to the wire, crazy pawn race and very complex stuff. And finally one intermediate check should have been given by Jumabayev at the end. He missed it and he lost this dramatic game. It was fantastic. And then the public, how they also reacted that, wow, we love 7 hours time control. Yeah, because as a commentator, you have the most time to share your insights. Yeah, so that's why I know that I never do commentary because, so after 3-4 hours, it's over. It's very nice. No. Please keep it as long as possible. Yes, that I can share more and more of my view of the game. So this is my philosophy, and I'm very happy that I was having this chance also commentating the World Championship, the final game between Gukesh and Dingley Ren. We could with Danya, we kind of sensed it that this is not, forget about computer evaluation, that it's 0-0. It's the World Championship match. It's the final game. if Dingley then loses this game, Gukesh becomes champion. Gukesh has the chance of torturing this endgame forever. And it's never a draw because he can shuffle around for 100 moves and the clock is ticking down. There is no extra time. Finally, Ding will get down to his last seconds. Who knows if he will hold or not? Yeah, it was a very scary scenario already. We have envisioned this half an hour before the blunder happened. And when actually the blunder happened, yes, it was a shock that it ended so quickly. We expected that the real problems will come later, but that it will not be a trivial draw. That was absolutely clear. That's why also I never like to, I'm not using engine. Yeah, I don't want to be influenced by the evaluation of the engine, because then it's very difficult to distract yourself from it. Yeah, because you know that, yeah, the engine is always right, but engine also doesn't understand the human element of the game. Yeah, that under pressure, how do you feel? Yeah, that, okay, if you are a computer, you will hold it. Or if it's the first game of the match or the fifth game of the match, probably hold it. But in the very last game, with all these nerves and also the exhaustion, because this is what people don't really understand, that the World Championship match is a marathon. Yeah, every day you are playing, you are every day preparing like crazy. 6-7 hours. Your team is working 20 hours for this next game. Yeah, your opponent does the same. Tremendous pressure all the time, and then it lasts like for 3 weeks. So of course in the final game you are not as fresh as when you started the match. Yeah, also the nerves are taking in. During my match against Kramnik, I also experienced this, that the last week already it was very difficult to eat at all. Yeah, because the sleepless nights are coming because you are getting closer to the finishing line. The problems with eating is coming. Opening problems are coming. You are already very tired, so on. And then people, how could you make a mistake? Well, we are humans after all. It can happen. And but that's why we also love it so much. Yeah, that because whenever computers play against each other, then as a human you don't get this thrill. Yeah, because there is no big drama. The computers, one computer plays perfectly, the other computer plays also perfectly. Okay, wonderful. But where is this element of surprise? And this is what we get in human games.
Well, Peter, it's been such a pleasure having you, learning so much about the, Peter behind the scenes. It's been such an honor, and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you, and very good luck to Vincent here in Vegas, but also in, I assume, your mission becoming next World Chess Champion.
Thanks a lot.